And we are talking about trading today. Trading involves risk. Please make sure you know what you're doing before you do it. First of all, my apologies for the sound of the lawnmower in the background. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but I am no longer on my property. I have my studio / office, and that would be regular maintenance. Not my choice, not my timing, and I can't exactly go tell them to stop. So hopefully they'll pass by here on the quick. Let's talk about today's trading. I had a decision to make after this was my first day back after blowing my accounts last week. And, you know, I think it's just natural to wonder or worry about or think about what could go wrong, especially when it's your first day back after a failure. And so today I thought, well, we have the eclipse today, and of course a lot of people are worried that the world is going to end. So I didn't know if that was going to affect the markets. I don't know why you would trade if you thought the world was going to end, but you just never know. So anyway, I was not sure going into today whether or not I was actually going to trade. Or I should say going into the weekend, I wasn't sure if I was going to trade today. I did make the decision this weekend, by the end of the weekend, that I was, and I did. And I had my show today, the Trader Bacon Show. If you have not seen that on Benzinga's YouTube channel, make sure to check that out. Mondays at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. We had a fun show today with a guest named Rich out of Michigan, who is just a phenomenal trader and a great guide. I think he just had a lot of great input. So if you didn't see that, make sure to check that out on the Benzinga YouTube channel. Just search Trader Bacon Show and you'll see the episodes by date. Anyway, enough plugs. Let's get back into today's trading and what happened. So this was my entry. As you can see, I got in at 18,279 and I ended up getting out at, where am I? Dang it. Is that right? Yeah, 18,279 and I got out. Let's just take a look here. 18,288. So, almost made 10 points on that one. I was trading 3 micros, which part of me had the desire to scale up, and I knew that that was not what I needed to be doing. But that was also not the trade that I intended to take. When I got in, we had bounced off of, let's take a look at the NQ chart. So we have broken this trend line, but it looked like it still had some significance. So between this demand zone, between the trend line here that had been serving as support, as it came through here, I wasn't sure with pre-market if we were going to bounce off of, or my expectation was that we were going to either bounce off of the demand zone or off of the trend line. And when it came in and right at open, came down and bounced, not exactly, but pretty solidly right off of that trend line, my intent was to enter. Let's look at, I'm on a 2-hour chart. Let's look at the 5-minute chart because that's where I was trading, right? Where are we? Okay, boy, that looks like Thursday. So as we bounced off of the trend line here and it came up, my intention was to take the trade from right here, just above the top of that demand zone, to just under where we had some significant resistance. We'd seen resistance here before to a certain extent, not on the nose, but definitely kind of right at it. So that worked out to be looking like it was going to be about 70-ish points, and you can see this was kind of my rough structure. I had my stop set down below the bottom of this this previous bar where it had dipped down, and set my target up here just below that resistance zone. And you can see it went ahead and took it. Now, had I just stayed in the trade, I would have gotten it. And I know that I'm sort of struggling with the patience in the trades, but that's not so much what happened today. I would have been comfortable enough staying in the trade today. However, I had the show today, and because last week my guest was my guest last week, was also my guest this week. Last week, we only had him on for like a couple of minutes at the end of the show because he was experiencing some technical challenges with getting everything all set up. So the intention was to get started at 10 o'clock and make sure we had everything done. So I was trying to kind of, not really trying to get out by 10, but I did set my stop up quite a bit higher, slightly in the profit region, so that I didn't have to pay as specifically close attention while I was trying to get everything all set up. Well, as you can see, it came down. It did dip below my entry and then came right back up. So I would have hit that target. I didn't take the total hit, obviously. I had my stop set at, let's see where we got out. Where we actually got out was at 18,288.25. So got almost that 10-point move, or that 10-point profit. Was not exactly what I was going for, and certainly wasn't as much as it could have been. But one of the ideas that we were talking about on the show today was the fact that trading is inherently always dissatisfying, in the sense that if you lose a trade, of course, that's dissatisfying. But even if you win a trade, it's not, for the most part, you're never going to get in at one extreme and get out at the other, whether that be the highs or the lows, depending on if it's a long trade or short trade. Obviously, you get the idea. But you're never going to collect that whole move. And we were talking about Thursday, where we had that 500-point drop on NQ. And my guest had taken a 60-point had a 60-point win on that. And even a 60-point win, and I think he said he had several contracts on that, so it was a big trade. So each contract would have been about $1,200, and each account would have been $1,200. In fact, I don't know if he was trading on multiple accounts. But the point is that was a big move. And because the move was 500 points, that 60-point move inherently becomes somewhat dissatisfying. And so that is one of the psychological challenges and struggles that comes with trading. I know it. I've talked about it a bunch of times, and I continue to experience it. I'm trying not to today because, quite frankly, I had a winning day. I mean, if you look at the account as a whole, no, that you don't need to see that, right? Where is my? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's fun, right? Okay, so let's move this over here. And my apologies. Okay, so you can see new accounts. I've just got 5 this time. I mean, I had 10. I blew 10, so we'll scale back in. But up about $50 an account, up 200. Sorry about that. Up $250 on the day. Of course, these are evals. This is not money in the bank. However, this is pushing me closer towards that $3,000 profit target at $50 a day. It's going to take for friggin' ever. So my hope and intent is not that is not the norm, but got to start somewhere. And I will certainly take a $50 profit over a $2,500 loss, which was what my last trading day looked like per account, and that was on 10 accounts. So. I'm back in the game. I think this was a good day to get back in the game. I'm really not that worried about the Eclipse, but I did think that there was the potential that the market might be affected in some way based on that. So anyway, that's where I am today. For whatever it's worth, slowly but surely getting back on the horse, trying to learn from the lessons of, the prior failures and make an example of what went wrong and utilize that to move forward in a more productive manner. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. Should have a normal, regular, full trading day. I'm not going to trade all day long, but I should have the full morning to trade and see what happens tomorrow. I am still working on some additional training videos that I'm watching and going through just to kind of clean up and get some additional resources at play. But little by little, increasing the knowledge, increasing the skill, and increasing the mindset, which I think ultimately is the most important. And we'll go from there. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Happy Eclipse Day. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. God bless. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Stay safe out there, especially if you're in the line of totality. There's a lot of crazies out there that have traveled to see this, and we'll see what happens from there. So I will check in again with you guys.